Hey everybody. It's a month today since tragedy struck our family, and we've had many requests to share the message that I gave at Khia's funeral. Um, this is a bit modified from what I said during the services, since this will hopefully be seen by others who may not know the entire situation. But hopefully, what we say is still going to resonate. So on October 16th, our 14-year-old daughter Khia committed suicide and took her final breath. Um, October 18th at 12:31 p.m. We first want to thank everyone for their love and support. The village that we have around us is truly amazing. From the officers who responded within seconds of the 911 call, the firefighters who rushed over to help, our next door neighbors, our church family, and everyone else who's come out to support us over the past weeks. Um, the love and support hasn't just stopped there. One of Kaya's favorite restaurants, Noodles and Company, donated most of the food for the luncheon that we had after her funeral at no charge. That was uh, pretty awesome. Kaya was a beautiful girl with a beautiful soul. The first day Stacy and I met her, she was the one who accidentally called us mom and dad. Um, After the first weekend she and her sister spent with us as foster kids, Kaya hid from the case aide who was picking them up, not wanting to leave. She was our adventurer, always wanting to try new things. She was the musician, always singing and playing instruments to the point of annoyance. And at the end of the day, she always wanted to help people and make sure that everyone else was okay. Um, Many people have told us not to blame ourselves, that we couldn't have done anything. And they're correct. I've also been told that schools today are just so hard for kids. Kids have just gotten so mean to each other, and it's got to stop. And they're correct as well. This has to stop. And as I sat at her bedside at the PEDS critical care unit, I thought about all this, and there are so many anti bullying efforts going on through schools, but they don't address the root of the problem. The problem is, none of us as adults want to acknowledge that we adults are the problem. We're the problem here. When kids are born, they are not born with hate. They learn it by watching us. Their behaviors and their actions are all shaped by what they see us adults doing. Proverbs 22, verse 6. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. So here's what I ask. The next time you look on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever it is, and see a picture depicting somebody who you don't like, or some sort of post that you feel completely validates every one of your opinions about a topic, but it's laced with hate for those who don't share that opinion, just stop. Stop and think just for 2 seconds before you hit that share button. Think about the message you are sending to your children, your grandchildren, and any other kids who are going to see that same message and who might look up to you as a role model. What's to be gained by sharing that picture? Is sharing that post going to bring people to Jesus? Is it really going to convince anybody to change their opinions? No, it's not. If you boil it down to its essence, it's bullying. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. All adults and kids are guilty of it at some point in our lives. We are not perfect. But all it does is further the divide that has just gotten rampant in our society today. And at the end of the day, what do the kids see? They see us targeting specific people or a person or groups of people with hate. And then the cycle continues. But it's got to stop. If we truly want to stop bullying in schools, we need to stop teaching the kids by just showing them that it's okay because we do it as adults. To any kids who might watch this, I want to apologize on behalf of all the adults here and in through society. We have all let you down. We have built this world. But I've got hope for the future because I've read what a lot of kids have posted on social media, have written on the banners that they created at both her middle school and the high school that she just started at this year. I've seen some of the messages from social media that you guys have been creating about her. There are so many kids that we know personally, and I know that you all are going to do whatever you can to try and fix this world that we have set up for you. And I know many of the adults in your lives are ready to try and help in any way that we can. We're all going to miss Khia. There's not a day that goes by that I don't see her face. I see it every time I fall asleep, every time I wake up, and I keep hoping that all this is just a dream. But I know that it's not. Stacy and I are committed to doing everything we can to prevent this from happening again. We love all of you, and we hope you'll join us in this battle. I'm going to wrap up with just 3 quotes that I think are most appropriate considering Khia's love of Harry Potter, which Mrs. Heflin helped me foster in her as a fellow nerd. Albus Dumbledore said, "But you know, happiness can be found even in the darkest of times, if one only remembers to turn on the light." It's dark right now, but we have to figure out how to turn on the light. We have to find the positive, and we have to use this situation for the good. And it's not just going to stop here. There are several things that Stacy and I plan to work on very soon to try and help further this message. Albus Dumbledore also said, "Do not pity the dead, Harry. Pity the living, and above all, those who live without love." And finally, Sirius Black, one of my favorite characters personally. We've all got both light and dark inside of us. What happens is the part that we choose to act on. That's who we really are. We all have the capacity for good and evil. What part are you going to use in this world? Khia, we loved you from the very first minute that we met you. You were loved more than you will ever know. Rest easy, and I know that we will see you again, but just not soon enough. Go sing with the angels.